What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers got through the NBA draft. And the big question is, what's next? Like, what do the Lakers need to do? They didn't draft a center. They didn't sign one in undrafted free agency. I see some people are, a little bothered by that. I don't think that that's that big of a deal. Again, Lakers have two development bigs already in Christian Koloko and Trey Jamison, who both were actually very good for the Lakers last year. And all of us were like, why aren't you bringing them in instead of Alex Len? Right? Especially Trey Jamison. Jamison was actually very good and surprising for the Lakers, just like that big physical interior center. Now, I don't think he solves if we had Jamison, we beat Minnesota or anything like that. But you got your two kind of development bigs over the next 2 years that you're trying to grow and get integrated into the roster, right? So Lakers going and drafting two forwards and Thero and Dixon, I think is fine, right? Because you got to keep in mind, Lakers, their goal has always been trade for a starting caliber center and sign a veteran backup. Those are the two things that the Lakers want to do most, right? That wasn't going to change regardless. And drafting or signing an undrafted free agent center, right, wasn't going to change that. At best, that guy is your third center. Right? Well, you have Christian Koloko that can be your third center, and it's not counting Jackson Hayes if they keep Jackson Hayes around. So I wasn't worried about the Lakers drafting or signing an unrestricted or undrafted free agent center because the Lakers already have those two guys, and they're going to go trade for a center plus get a backup. And we have a whole plethora now of centers available thanks to the NBA draft, which is something that, I talked about on this channel, I talked about on As It Stands Lakers. We're like, hey, just let you know, there might be more options because of the draft because teams are going to draft guys. I mean, Portland might trade 3 centers, right? The Lakers at least get one of them, right? So again, you look at the situation that has developed, and I think the Lakers are fine at the center position. Rob Pelinka even recently said, we're not going to sleep until we solve this, right? Lakers are going to go get 2 centers. It was always something that they were going to do. That was always the plan. But here's the other thing you got to keep in mind. If the Lakers go and trade for a Nick Claxton, right? You're probably trading Rui Hachimura and, Maxi Kleba or something like that to them. You're sending something like that to them, right? Which means you need to replace those guys. Well, Eric Dixon can replace those guys, and Joe Thero can replace, the wing depth, right? Andrew Wiggins, you go trade for Andrew Wiggins. Supposedly it's Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura. They're just trying to work out, because they want Connect in a first, and Lakers don't want to give up Connect in a first. So again, any type of trades or moves that you make, you're probably losing perimeter depth. So how do you solve that? It is easier to go get and solve the center position for the Lakers this year because of the amount of free agents that there are, right? And on top of that, the amount of just options available via trade. Lakers should be able to find at least one guy. It might not be the ideal guy, but they should be able to at least solve their center position. They could just solve their center position in free agency. Go get a Clint Capella and a Luke Kennard, right? Or go get, Brooke Lopez, right? And boom, you solve your center position. I'm not worried about the Lakers center position. And I understand, right? We're not, as a fan base, we're not the most patient, right? But patience is a virtue. We got to wait. We're not even in free agency yet, right? Free agency isn't till Monday, right? So we still have a lot of time between now and then for trades and signings and all stuff to develop. Lakers, I imagine, are already on the phones with some of these guys, probably talking to LeBron and working out with LeBron because LeBron still hasn't opted in yet, right? So it's like, hey, dude, right? Which is why I think he is probably open to taking a discount. Right? Because why not just opt in and be done with it? I think he's giving the Lakers, and again, I don't know this. LeBron's not my buddy. I can't call him and be like, Bron, what's up, my guy? I can't, I don't have those connections, not yet. Hopefully one day. But, I can't call LeBron and be like, hey, are you waiting for the Lakers? But my guess is the reason he hasn't opted in when there were several reports from different sources that all said LeBron is going to opt into his contract, which I also think is funny because a lot of those same reporters also said LeBron was going to take a discount when they traded for Luka. So it's which is it? But I think LeBron is waiting around for what do the Lakers do, right? Look, I said the same thing last year, right? When LeBron made the offer. LeBron's not going to take the discount if the Lakers don't do anything, right? Why would he take a discount for you not to do anything? But the Lakers, if they go and they're like, hey, we can get a Bruce Brown and a Clint Capella if you take $20 million less. LeBron might be willing to do that, right? But if you're like, hey, we're just going to re-sign Jackson Hayes and, bring in Christian Koloko and call it a season, LeBron's going to be like, yeah, I'm not taking no discount, right? Also, the Lakers, they're hard kept at the second apron because they used money in order to move up in the draft. Right? So Lakers can't exceed the second apron. So LeBron might have to take a little haircut again just to keep them under the second apron. So that's another reason for those that are like, oh, he'll never take a discount. Well, he did last year, right? To keep them under the second apron. Might have to do it again to keep them under the second apron. But point is, right? Rob Pelinka is active. I mean, all the consensus reports are that like Rob is in conversations with teams about various players. Right, Walker Kessler, they've made an offer to, right? And Andrew Wiggins, they're working out things. I understand that's not a center, but Lakers need more than a center. Like, I understand because we haven't really went and signed a center in years, or haven't really gotten that center in years. So I understand people's reluctancy to believe that Rob Pelinka is going to get a center, right? But you also got to keep in mind, we're not a center away. Right? Don't get me wrong. A center by itself would do wonders for this team. I mean, even just a Clint Capella by himself would do wonders for this team. Team that goes from no centers to, hey, like a legit starting center, still one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and a big physical interior center. Right? That alone, yes, I agree, would do wonders for the Lakers. But Lakers need multiple things. Right? They need to solve their perimeter depth because, again, you can't have Rui, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Sorry, I thought I was thinking D'Lo in my head, right? Because you went from D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui to now Luka, Reeves, and Rui, and you have the same problems. Why? Because you don't have any athleticism, you don't have any defense, you don't have any switchability, you don't have anything out on the perimeter. Lakers need an Andrew Wiggins, right? So yes, if you can go and trade for an Andrew Wiggins and sign a Clint Capella, fine. Right? I would prefer that because at least now you solve your perimeter defense, your athleticism out on the perimeter, and you solve your center position, right? Lakers need multiple things. And what they did in this draft was to help solve some of the issues that are going to be here tomorrow, right? Not literally tomorrow, but because again, if the Lakers trade for a center, you're probably losing Rui Hachimura. You're probably or even Andrew Wiggins, you're probably losing Rui Hachimura. You might lose Jared Vanderbilt. You might lose Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleba, right? Some of these guys. You're going to lose several guys in which now you're going to need to replace them. Well, how do you replace them? Thero, it gives you basically a more athletic Jared Vanderbilt, and Eric Dixon gives you a bigger Rui Hachimura. Right? Like, that's how. Right? And both of those guys can be rotation pieces, come in and help now, right? One guy is excellent offensively. One guy is excellent defensively, right? So it's those kind of things. But look, I trust that the Lakers are going to get things done. And look, maybe they don't, and I have egg on my face. But I said the Lakers were going to make a trade that I was like 99.99% sure. I never like to speak in definitives. I never like to give 100% because it's the NBA. You never know. But I said Lakers are going to make a trade. I am confident enough to say Lakers will make a trade. And guess what? We landed, I didn't think it would be Luka Doncic, right? But they did. They ended up trading for Dorian Finney-Smith, and I was like, hey, they're going to make another trade. And they did, right? Luka Doncic. I'm saying the same thing now. Lakers are going to end up solving their center needs. They're going to end up solving. They're not going to run the risk of Luka just leaving, right? Like, they're not out of the woods yet. So, again, I trust that Rob Pelinka will get it done. We just have to be patient. I know it's hard to be patient. I know it's frustrating, right? I know, you kind of look at the track record. It's frustrating. I get it. But things will develop. Things work out, right? Things worked out with Luka, right? It was like, what are we going to do in a post-LeBron AD era, right? Like, Anthony Davis, is he the guy that you can build around, right? He's aging out. What do we do? And the Lakers solved it. Got Luka Doncic. Right? Again, things tend to work themselves out, especially for Lakers, right? But as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So if you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.